What is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE News. Today, we have some interesting information because there is a big rumor that Code Vein will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. We also have the Media Crate sales charts where the Nintendo Switch continues its domination in Japan, and then we also have Skies of Fury DX. We have a release date for that as well, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with Code Vein. This is the big one, Bandai Namco's new action RPG, Unreal Engine 4. It's supposed to be coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC sometime in 2018, but now there is rumors that there will be a Nintendo Switch port of the game, but if it does come out, it's not going to be till late 2018 or 2019, so let's go ahead and get into the information here. And this is from Leaky Panda that apparently has some ties or something like that to Vandal Leaks, which, if you guys all remember, Vandal Leaks was originally the source, I guess, of the Nintendo Direct, saying that Nintendo was going to drop a Direct out of nowhere in terms of the last one that we got, and they were right about that. There was also some talk about Marcus Sellers, who also talked about it as well, but people said that he got it from Vandal Leaks, but whatever, it was a whole big mess over on Twitter. Either way, Vandal Leaks was reportedly the first person to talk about that Nintendo Direct coming, and they were right about that, and apparently this person has something to do with them in terms of Leaky Panda on Twitter. Let's go ahead and get into the information in terms of what they have to say, and then I'll give my own take on it, because I definitely have some stuff to say about this, and I waited before I talked about this because I wanted to verify a few things. So let's get into it here first. So apparently, Code Vein, there is a Nintendo Switch version proposed by management in late November 2017. So they're saying, okay, well, you know what? We need to get something onto this Nintendo Switch. Now, the overall game very behind in schedule, and in early December 2017, massive feature, I think cut, or it says feature creep. I don't know what feature creep means. Now, Dark Souls Remastered brought to the front to release in its place, and now the Nintendo Switch version canned as of February 2018, coming 2019, if at all. So they're saying basically they're kind of holding off and kind of waiting. Let's get Dark Souls Remastered done, and then if it does come or proposed again, then it's going to be coming out 2019. So I do think there's a couple things at play here. Bandai Namco was on record saying that, you know what, it was a shame. This is by the president's words. This is not stuff that I'm making up. This is not rumor or leak or anything like that. They were on record saying it was a shame. We did not understand the Nintendo Switch's success beforehand. Like, we didn't think that it would catch on as fast because they could have developed more resources or put more resources towards it. Then they said they do now have more resources towards the system. They said they have multiple exclusives in addition to ports coming over to the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you look at the lineup in terms of what Bandai Namco is doing, I would expect all of their games that launched this year or late last year to eventually get Nintendo Switch ports. Now, how likely is Code Vein? I think this one is a little bit more likely in terms of rumors than other ones, so I would say above 50% because of what Bandai Namco has said, and because Bandai Namco games have sold extremely well in terms of third-party titles on the Nintendo Switch. They're definitely one of the leading developers in terms of their games. They've brought over stuff like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which sold extremely well on the Nintendo Switch, which is actually still selling in Japan, which we'll talk about in the Media Crate sales charts later in this video. On top of that, stuff like Pokken Tournament has sold well, and I think Naruto and other games that they bring out is also going to do well on the Nintendo Switch. So I know that they've accelerated the process in terms of bringing games over to Nintendo Switch. Code Vein, Unreal Engine 4 RPG, Nintendo Switch does support that, so I do feel that there is going to be a Code Vein port. I do think that they might work on it, and if it's feasible for them to do it in terms of time, resources, what they're doing with the game, if they can get a good port done, it will definitely get done, along with some of their other games that they've announced as well, because as you've seen in Japan, and I think the biggest thing for these Japanese developers to notice is that there is a huge shift. I mean, you can even look at the PlayStation 4 in Japan in terms of sales, unless you're trying to focus everything on the Western market, which is always scary for Japanese developers because some games break through and other games just get buried by all the other good Western games out there. But if you release a quality, good title on the Nintendo Switch, you can get that publicity, you can get those sales in Japan, in addition to getting those sales worldwide, which we've seen with some of Bandai Namco's games already, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 in particular. So I do feel that Code Vein is something that can happen, and and will happen in the future, just as long as everything lines up nicely to where they have to be able to make a solid game out of it. So those are my thoughts on Code Vein. I do think that it could come to the Nintendo Switch. I'm not saying that it's a definitive thing or this person's 100% right, but I did just do a little bit of background on this just to kind of see what was going on. And from what I understand, that yes, Bandai Namco is bringing out multiple proposals in terms of different PS4, Xbox One, PC games coming over to Nintendo Switch in the future, because they have been porting some of their older stuff, and then of course they're going to move on to their next thing. But once again, it is a rumor. So what do you guys think about Code Vein potentially coming over to the Nintendo Switch? Is this your style of game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, we've got the Media Create sales charts from March 26, 2018 through April 1st, 2018. No April Fools here, guys. Nintendo Switch, once again, top system being sold, but some interesting games at the top of the charts when it comes to software. So Super Robot Wars X opens up at 143,301 sales. So seems like a little bit lower than what that franchise is normally used to. So Super Robot Wars X sold 89,259 copies on the PlayStation 4 and 54,042 copies on the PS Vita, for a total of 143,301 copies during its opening week in Japan. The latest Media Create sales figures have revealed. Also new this week, we have the latest entry in Ubisoft's Far Cry series. Far Cry 5 opened up at a pretty solid, for Japan, 75,474 copies on the PlayStation 4, and Sega's Shining Renaissance Remaster, which only launched on the PlayStation 4 in Japan, I guess it's not coming to other systems in Japan, opened up at 23,054 units in sales. Now that game, that's actually coming over to the Xbox One and also the Nintendo Switch in the worldwide. So I don't know if the Switch port is coming later down the line in Japan. I don't know if it's going to be a worldwide release. I think that's what's going on there, because I doubt that they would not release it in Japan in terms of the Switch version, but I know that that game is coming worldwide. Now on a hardware side, the Nintendo Switch sold 44,033 units, the PlayStation 4 family of systems sold 25,325 units, and the 3DS family of systems sold 10,209 units, which is still outstanding because the 3DS is literally getting no new games, yet it's still selling 10,000 units plus every single week in Japan. We talked about what was at the top of the charts in terms of like Far Cry and all that. So Kirby was the top selling Nintendo Switch game. That sold another 50,437 units, which is absolutely phenomenal. If you look at the 3 weeks since Kirby has been out, over 357,000 units of that game being sold just in Japan alone. Probably going to be a 500,000 seller in the next few weeks to a couple months here. So that's absolutely amazing for the Nintendo Switch that Kirby can sell that rate. Also, look at Splatoon 2, man. This is the evergreen of evergreen. It is seriously like the stalwart of Japan, with another 25,000 units plus, over 2.1 million units, almost at 2.2 million units for that game. Also want to talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's also been very good. Almost 1.5 million units for that game. Another 14,000 units plus for that one as well. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild continues to sell more than a year after its release. It's getting very close to 1 million units sold. It's at 938,990 units, and that is just the Nintendo Switch version. Of course, if you count the Wii U version, it's over 1 million, but just the Switch version in Japan, and that almost sold another 10,000 units there. So Valkyria Chronicles 4, that kind of dipped down a little bit. Super Mario Odyssey still selling well. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, once again, in there as well. Over 32,000 units for that game. Attack on Titan on the PS4, still on there at the very bottom there, but also Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, like I alluded to, that game sold another 3,981 units for 137,570 units in Japan alone. Once again, very good for that game in terms of what it's doing, and it's continuing to sell, going on its first year anniversary. We talked about the hardware sales, 44,000 units plus for the Nintendo Switch, down a little bit from last week, but still pretty steady. Pretty much beat out every other system by at least double, a little bit underneath that when it comes to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, but considering that PlayStation 4 got 2 new releases that both sold over 70,000 units, the fact that PlayStation sales didn't go up too much is just kind of, like I said, the shift that's going on in Japan. Even if the Nintendo Switch doesn't get any new games at all, it's still selling at the top just because it's a portable system and it's a home console. Just fits the lifestyle, quality of life in terms of Japanese gamers, so it's going to continue to do well. So what do you guys think about all the sales here? Pretty much nothing crazy in terms of this week. It was just good to see the Nintendo Switch continue to be at the top. I like to see that, and getting other Japanese games on the system are going to depend on sales, going to depend on the market continuing to grow, so developers see that there is a business opportunity there. So I definitely like to see that the Nintendo Switch continues to sell at a good rate in Japan, and wait till, of course, the big hitters come out. We have Super Smash Brothers, we have a lot of other games as well. I think Phantasy Star Online Cloud, that's just like a free download or whatever it is, that just launched in Japan, so maybe that has a little bit of an effect on the sales next week. We'll have to wait and see. There's no box retail version for people to buy. It's just a cloud-based version of the game, so we'll see how that works out. So what do you guys think about the Media Create sales charts for this week? What do you guys think about the Kirby sales, Far Cry, Super Robot Wars, and all that? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final topic for today, Skies of Fury DX launches on April 12th for the Nintendo Switch. I talked about this game a while ago, and now we do have a launch date for the game. So CD Interactive and Illumination Games has announced the combat air game, or air combat game I should say, Skies of Fury DX will launch for the Nintendo Switch via the eShop only, on April 12th. Now you guys are checking out the trailer here. Here's a little bit of an overview of the game. So take to the skies, experience World War I as a fighter pilot. Skies of Fury DX offers players the chance to engage in epic aerial combat, historic Bloody April 1917 as both British and German pilots. You also have the key features, 100 different missions, unlockable comics based on the real history of Bloody April, multiplayer mode, survival and versus up to 4 players, hundreds of unlockables to customize your plane, play to unlock upgrades for your flying and combat abilities. So it seems like a nice little flying airplane game. We don't have a lot of them on the Nintendo Switch, so I just wanted to highlight it just to make sure that you guys knew about the title. I think I was going to get a review code for this game. I'm not sure. I thought I talked to the developer about it a while ago, so maybe I'll get sent something in my email in a bit and I can test it out for you guys, because I did like airplane games back in the day. So we don't see a lot of them out there, but I do want to try it out if I can get the opportunity. So what do you guys think about Skies of Fury DX? And did you guys play the game originally on like the iPhone or Android, because that's where the game originally came out, and they kind of revamped it for the Nintendo Switch, adding in content, of course improving the graphics and all that. So let me know your thoughts on Skies of Fury DX, the Media Create sales charts, and Code Vein potentially coming over to Nintendo Switch. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of players across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming page. Consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.